So I failed, and you know, it's funny because I sent these slides to you earlier today, yesterday I think anyways, and I was thinking, I put that name failed on there, and I hate that word, failed, because you know what, I really didn't fail, I just learned a lesson. I learned a lesson about what I was good at, what I wasn't good at, and unfortunately I never learned the lesson the first time. It usually takes me a couple times to learn, but you'll see as I go along. So then I failed that. I became a UPS driver because, quite frankly, I needed to pay bills. Again, I hated that job. It was terrible. And I said, you know what, I gotta go out and do my own thing. I can't work for anybody else. It's just not gonna work for me. I started a painting company called Thornton Painting. Again, another lesson. Okay, during this time I started to kind of do my own thing of a handyman, start flipping things a little bit here and there. My main thing that I had spent all this money on all this education. The number one thing that held me back the whole entire time is I never really committed and took the action that I needed to take on it, right? Like I had the analysis paralysis big time, okay? And I wasted so many years of my life not taking the action and going forward and doing what I knew I really wanted to do, but I was afraid to do it. And so then I failed at that. I became a realtor again because I figured, like, I can't screw it up twice. Like, I know what I did the first time, right? Like, how could I do this? How could I fail again? Lo and behold, I ended up meeting my first, I found my first real estate mentor. His name is Kevin Legassi. I don't know if you guys know him or not. He's up in New Hampshire area. He was big into the New Hampshire RIA back in the day. Central New Hampshire, northern New Hampshire area, and he owns tons of units. He owns a lot of mobile home parks now and things like that. But I met him there, and he really, I can't tell you how important it was for me to find a mentor at that time to really hold my hand and say, hey, like, this is the way that we're going to do it. I didn't have to pay him for it or anything. I just got a percentage of the deal that I did. I found deals for him, and I was just hustling. I was doing the grind every single day. We ended up flipping so we completed our first 4 flips on that, 3 single families, and then a 1 unit in Dover. Then I said, oh, well, I got this whole thing figured out, right? Like, I'm gonna go out and do this on my own. So I went out and did that, and again, I learned a lesson, right? Learned a lesson. Again, don't follow my blueprint. It really is not the way to go. It's a lot of rocky roads the whole entire way. I ended up selling the property. Didn't make any money on it whatsoever. I got foreclosed on my own personal home. I had a condominium in Merrimack, New Hampshire. I had an 18-month-old son and my wife, and I just lost everything. Like it was 2009, 2010. I don't know if any of you guys remember what the market was like back in that time, but it was pretty rough. It was pretty tough. So I got foreclosed on. I filed bankruptcy, and I had to really pick up the pieces and start everything all over again. Okay, I wouldn't trade that lesson in for anything. Like that taught me so much that it's ridiculous. It made me the person that I am today. It really has. I became a DirecTV installation person because it was the only job that I could find at the time. $10 an hour.
Wow.
$10 an hour. That's all I could do. And luckily, I ended up having to play golf one day with somebody, and I got offered a job as a project manager for his company called Lab Furniture Installation and Sales. We build laboratories in the Cambridge, MIT, Harvard, all that stuff, right? So I was actually able to build back up, build my credit back up, buy my own house again, just rebuild it. This is all I'm doing. This is like a 4 or 5 year process that I'm going through this whole entire time, okay? And I could have stayed in that job and done for the next 20 years, done my 401k, been completely fine, and just, did what most people do in this in our world, right? But I really did not want to do that. I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, driving down to Cambridge, working all day, getting home 7, 8 o'clock at night. And it just wasn't the life that I wanted. It wasn't what I wanted to do for my life. So I decided that I was going to finally get over my failures, get over my lessons, and I decided I was going to create the life that I wanted to. I became a licensed realtor again. I ended up joining up with Cameron Prestige. I don't know if you guys know any of that, Ocean City Development, Tommy Caffarella, and I joined the Chinati Realty Group, which is still operating, I think, right? I think they are.
Barely.
But I met some fantastic people that are in this room through that process, and I'm very happy that I made that decision to join that group and moving forward with that. And then I decided though, like again, I'm not a really good real estate agent. I got a lot of knowledge in the real estate world, but I'm just not good at that sales thing. I'm really just not good at it. So then I said, you know what I'm good at is I'm good at finding deals. I'm good at building relationships. I am good at contracting and doing that stuff. Why don't I just concentrate on that? Why am I messing around with it? And just start focusing on what you're good at, right? And so I became a full-time real estate investor as a fix and flip guy, okay? And that is really what I've been doing for the last 3 years. Is I've done over 70 transactions as a wholesaler, fix and flip. Again, John had even mentioned earlier today about building relationships, JVing with people. Like I've built my whole entire business off of that, off of building relationships, connecting with people. And just bringing value and serving others, and that's the biggest thing that we can do. So I concentrate buy wholesaling, fix and flips. Just started doing a little bit of buy and hold. So currently have a 5-unit in Nashua. I have a mixed-use building also in Hudson. It's a rooming house above. Right now we're renovating it down below as well. We're going to do another probably get a 1-bedroom and a studio out of it. And then we're going to have our back office in the back as well that we can run out of every single day as well. So I really love working with first-time investors, helping them walk through the process, look at the property. This is what you need to be looking out for. This isn't something you need to really be worrying about, and just try and make them maximize their dollars. I'm trying to use my mistakes and help other people so they don't do the same thing. So I mean, really, that's where I'm at with most things on that front. That's my story. I figured I would show you one of the properties that we had flipped last year. This is a duplex on Calif Road in Manchester, New Hampshire that we ended up doing. It really was a really good learning lesson for me. Absolutely was. We got the lead. It was a Google PPC lead. Came in. There's 3 sisters that inherited the property. They actually thought that it was a tear down. They thought that and they might have been right. But they, I was like, no way, we can take care of this, not a big deal. So purchase price is $165. The renovation and holding costs ended up being $175,000. Now my renovation and holding costs going into this was $125,000. So that's a little bit of a difference. We bought it in November of 2019. Sold it in July of 2020, which if you notice the dates here, this was right in the beginning of where the pandemic was kind of really starting in February and March. So it was kind of a scary part and a scary time where we didn't know what was going to happen. And I was literally scared to death that I was going to lose everything on this thing. But thankfully, I said, no, we're just going to keep on moving forward. We're going to take care of it. And everything ended up working out really well because the market rebounded, as you all know. So it's ended up selling for $392. Closing costs on it was $23,520. Total profit was $28,480. Really, going into it, we thought the profit was going to be probably closer to about $75,000 to $80,000. Really, you know. I ended up splitting this with a partner, so we ended up each making about almost $15,000 a piece. Wasn't a great deal, but we didn't lose anything. And learned a ton of what to look for going into our next deals. And that's the biggest thing that I've always looked at is what am I learning in this experience that I'm going through right now? Here's some before and after pictures of what it was. It really was pretty beat up. I can't believe that there was an old lady that was living inside of this house really for as long as she was. We ended up tearing down all the walls, knocking it all completely down. It had some really nice hardwood floors throughout the whole home, which we ended up refinishing. And it came out really nice in the end. Brand new kitchens, brand new bathrooms. It had a great 3-car garage as well. And the people that ended up buying this, they ended up house hacking. They were house hackers. Two people, investors bought it together. They ended up renting out one of the units. And they're living for free, which is a great thing. I always get the question all the time from people, and they're always saying, where do you guys get the money? How do you guys do this? Where does it come from? This is how I do all of my deals, okay? I do it this way. I have private investor finance, 10% of the down payment and the rehab costs. I have the hard money lender that comes in, does 90% of the purchase price. I added in here the additional $30K to finish the renovation because we ended up running over budget as well. I have a good relationship with them. They were willing to lend us out the extra money. We ended up paying 2 points at closing for it, and at 12% interest only payments is what we did on that. My biggest thing that I want everyone to learn from today, though, really is that relationships is what this whole entire business is about. It really is. I built my whole entire business in the last 3 years off of talking with people, communicating with people, and performing when I told them that I was going to do it. It's so easy. People always say, like, oh, where do you guys find deals? And I can't find any deals out there and all this stuff. And I'm always amazed when I hear that because the deals are endless. This deal's everywhere. So don't let anybody ever tell you that there aren't any deals out there. You just need to put yourself out there and stop being a secret investor or a secret agent. Like, go out there, take action, share your stories, tell people what you're looking to do. Don't worry about the money. The money's there, especially today. Trust me, the money is there. It's never going to be an issue for you. And just keep on plodding forward. And like Kingsley said, like massive action. And keep an abundant mindset about it. Because there's going to be bumps and bruises along the way. You're going to have tons of lessons along the way. But it's all worth it. I can guarantee you it's all worth it.